Hey, my Taurus babies. I hope everybody had a good week. I hope you have a good weekend. I have had a huge load lifted off my shoulders. You know, sometimes, let me back up. This is a Taurus and Gemini monthly. Taurus and Gemini sitting in a tree. Kissing. All right. Sometimes, you can get with folk because they bring that certain, what do they call it, je ne quoi, something to the table, but they ain't shit. I just got rid of mine. How about that? Ooh. And you feel like it's gonna be the end of the world. Actually, it's like, damn, that's a sigh of relief. Goodbye, thank you. So I'm talking to you, Taurus. If you got some kind of bullshit going on right now, you might be better off letting it go. If you think it might have some potential, but it still ain't showing no signs. Still same old bullshit. I'm just saying, might be time to let it go. And what's on the other side? Well, it gotta be better than what you going through. I'm just saying. I am in a much better mood than I was 6 hours ago, so that's a good thing. So, all right, Taurus and Gemini. This is 3 for the recent past, 3 for current, 3 cards for future energy. We'll pull 2 cards for overall energy, and I'll pull 3 cards for guidance from the universe. This is going to be an enhanced reading, so you're going to get 2 decks so you can see what the hoo-ha is, what the hoo-ha going on. I'm just saying. Cut these up again. Yeah, that's where we're going. So, Taurus and Gemini, sitting in a tree, Kissing. A reminder, I do my cards straight up. I don't do reversals. So let's see what we got going on here. So for your overall energy with your Gemini Taurus, the shadow. And the back end of your overall energy is heartache and loss. Oh, hell. Here we go. I'm sorry. Recent past, recognition and reward, sacrifice, and love begins. So, okay. Y'all try to start it up. Current energy, patience and planning. Your centerpiece card and your challenge card is to stand your ground card, Taurus, with your Gemini. And the fertility card for your future energy, disruption, harmony, and mental conflict. Oh, Lord. I don't even know if I want to pull the rest of them. What the heck? Overall energy from this deck. So the shadow card pulls the 3 of swords. Oh, damn. Right off the rip. And heartache and loss pulls the lover's card. So, okay, this is over. Let's just get that out in the open now. Taurus, you're tired. I feel you. I feel you. Recognition and reward pulls the 2 of coins. Sacrifice pulls the Tower card. Love begins pulls the 5 of coins. Patience and planning pulls the Princess of Swords. Stand your ground pulls Taurus card, King of coins. Fertility pulls the 3 of coins. Disruption pulls the Knight of cups. Harmony pulls the Hangman. And mental conflict, well, doggone it, wouldn't it pull the 9 of swords? The damn air energy. Here we go. I don't know what, okay, I'm talking to Taurus. I know y'all cross-watching. I'm going to make a real general statement. This is not applicable to every Taurus and Gemini situation. I'm sure some of y'all are out there happily huddled up together, and it's a good thing. But for the rest of us, here's the problem with Taurus dealing with air signs. And another reader, I'll just tell you, hustler. Those of you that are avid tarot reader watchers, y'all know who Hustler Jones is. I had him do a reading for me last year. I don't tell all my business, but you need to hear this part. And he started out by telling me the differences between Taurus and Aquarius. And then I told him what my moon sign is, which is said to me, I can't approach things the way I normally approach things, which is as a bull, I'm probably the weepiest, criest, saddest, poor little bull sitting in the middle of all of it, because everything just affects me at another level. A lot of that has to do with having this gift. A lot of the rest of it is having Pisces as my moon sign. So I'm very emotional, and things need to line up for me. And it's probably why I read the way I read, because I need to see a clear pattern of something. Air signs, on the other hand, and this air sign has a Sagittarius rising. He said the Aquarius don't think like that. They don't process information and their feelings like that. They're not emotional. And I'm thinking, yeah, he's probably right. And this is before I started reading, mind you. I'm still at that time going through the struggle of what all this energy is, and what am I doing? I'll be damned. And that is the thing between Taurus and Aquarius. I'm going to take it a step further, because a lot of you probably don't even have Pisces as your moon sign. But the bigger difference between air signs and earth signs, and particularly Taurus and earth signs, because we're the beast of the earth signs. If you didn't know it, can't record it. What the? Sorry, Taurus. At any rate, earth signs and air signs is at best, because we like our hooves on the ground. This Uranus shit in Taurus and all this uncertain energy and shit has most of us losing our fucking minds, because our center is disappearing. Our true north is just bouncing around all over on a little compass. And you have to be a Taurus to understand when the earth starts moving under you, and for no reason, it's just moving because somebody's saying it's time for it to move. That don't click in all the time. Earth signs on the other side and understand, although it's a song and a joke, we really are in the age of Aquarius. So this is a difficult time for us at best anyway, because you're dealing with all the shit in the air. Thinking, intellectual processing. That's not to say that we can't do that. We do. I'm sorry, my phone is just trying to get through Mercury retrograde the best way it knows how. Anyway, so when I sit here and I look at your reading, Taurus, with your Gemini, I'm not surprised, because the further we get into the year, the further we get into this millennium, let me clear it up. The Aquarian, the age of Aquarius thing is just, it is what it is. If you notice, there are a lot of people that are kind of all over the place. They say one thing one minute, swear up and down the next minute they didn't do it. You got to understand, ghosting energy is an air energy. Come on now. So, and I feel like some of you in this situation have been ghosted. You've been told to do certain things, make certain plans for the Gemini. Gemini turn around and be like, I ain't tell you to do that. I would never say never date another sign. That is just so stupid. I would never do that, because you don't know who is in the world for you. But there's some general guidelines you can just kind of follow. And this is for you Tauruses that are sitting there sniffling in your Kleenex. I hear you, I feel you. Because you thought this was going to be a real thing, and now your overall energy is this shadow of this third party situation that you're not really clear on. And on the back end of your energy, you're dealing with the Lover's card, which just as soon have been on fire in reverse on top of the heartache and loss. It's just a hot mess, hot mess, hot mess. And I'm sorry, Taurus, but this is a part of our evolution. This is what we have to understand. A lot of us are going through some of this shit right here, and some of this stupid shit right here with our partners, not only related to elements and signs, but because it's time for change. This is a 9 year. This is closing up some shit, because next year is a 0 year. Time to start a new cycle for everyone. Those of you that are going through this breakup, I'm going to just tell it like it is. Ain't no sense of pussyfooting around and playing with it and whatever. Y'all have come through a lot. I say that. And I think probably Taurus has been the one trying to hold this down, because we're such loyal creatures. It's the only thing we can do. So from your recent past with the 2 of coins, Some of you were iffy about getting into this in the first place, but you felt like, that's that big card down there, you felt like the recognition and the reward, and not so much the recognition, but the reward of kind of struggling through this relationship and turning it into the dream thing would be a good thing. And that ain't a bad thing to aim for, to be in a relationship that's on rocky ground and try and get it on stable ground. A lot of older couples you hear say, yeah, we went through something, we were married about 25 years and things got kind of rough and shaky, but we held on. You'll hear that a lot from people in their 80s and 90s, and they've been married 50 or 60 years. And that's how you stay married 50 or 60 years. Somebody gives in, somebody compromises, you swim through the bullshit and you keep it moving. This energy, you know, how much swimming are you going to be asked to do? You had a tower moment somewhere in the recent past, and it had to do with, let me tell you what it is. It was a cover-up, basically, for the bullshit that's going on in the background. So the argument may have gone something to the tune of, well, I'm sacrificing all this stuff for you, and I'm doing all this stuff for you, and you don't care. Huh? And that's a guilty mind talking to you, Taurus. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing that out there. Gemini, I know y'all like, cut her off, hit the thumbs down. I feel you. But it is what it is. I can only tell what it is. With the love begins and the 5 of coins, it feels like a lot of you at this point, and this is recent past, so we can go back as far as 3 months, 4 months, you begin feeling like maybe this ain't so much love beginning as maybe I need to walk the other way. But at that point, you probably flared your nostrils and raised your tail and stomped your hoof and made a big huff and a puff out of all of this. And Gemini settled down. And Taurus, this is us, the 5 of coins. The earth energy was like, you know what? I don't even think I need to. Well, you did ask nice. Okay, we'll stay. Okay, y'all feel me? It's just that simple. Current energy, you back into the same shit again. Patience and planning, but you know, it's a lot of snippy, snappy, backbiting bullshit right now. You know, everybody slamming drawers. I know you can say that. Just on the edge of being just hostile. Underneath that, patience and planning, and I know that's partly Taurus in the background going, okay, I see this is getting ready to go left or center. And even though we may not act like it, we're always thinking. Taurus is a very intellectual creature. It's just that we are just considered the beast of burden of the zodiac. I get that. But we're very intellectual when we choose to be. And some of us are very analytical and strategic in our thinking. We're bulls, of course. We're going to run through the china shop. But others, even those that do that, we have a way of finessing things. And that doesn't come from just watching TV. We are very smart people. Somewhere here, Taurus, I feel you, with the patience and the planning. You're like, you know what? We just got back together 2 hours ago, and we already here. It's in the background. Your centerpiece and your challenge for all of this, Taurus. And I'm proud to say I stood my ground today. Thank you very much. Yeah, stand your damn ground. The thing I heard was what I need, and I was like, well, why are we talking about your needs and not my needs? Taurus, I don't give a damn what anybody tells you, what they show you, what they heard. You are just as important as anybody else in your life. Don't ever think that you're less than, ever. Don't let anybody punk you out and tell you their shit is more important than yours. It is not. This is your challenge. You stand your ground at every fucking turn of the corner. Do not let somebody bully you, try to shake you, throw shade at you. None of that. None of that. Because people play on the fact that we are loyal and that we have presence and that we pretty much run the financial shit. I'm just saying. Whether we have it or not, we know enough about it to keep shit going. Tauruses will get you through some shit. No, excuse me, no other sign in the world will get you through. I'm just telling you. That's your challenge. To be this king and stand your fucking ground. Do not let the Gemini or any other sign for that matter try and tell you you can't, you won't, you don't need to. No, you need to do everything you want to do with your life, Taurus. Just know that. Current energy still, this is where seeds get planted. And for those of you that like manifesting, you working on manifesting the next thing, whatever that happens to be for you. And when I pulled this card, I've actually pulled this card in my own reading. I done looked at that face in that tree. I'm like, dude is getting ready to do a full body sculpture. Hello, work that out. So while all this bullshit is going on around you, Taurus, you've pretty much walked away. You were walking away when you went back to it. I'm just saying, 5 of coins on the love begins. You were already walking out the damn door because you'd already been through so much, you kind of shut it down. But you were still emotional, still some emotion in there. The current energy, you know it's fucked up. You're just trying to figure out how long fucked up you go before it run out of gas. That's what it is. When you get to your future energy, that's where changes start taking place. And I'm going to say for the month of August, it's probably going to be more from the center of the month to the end of the month. Because this energy up here is going to clear out. But when is it going to clear out? That's the thing. So if we go 2 weeks, you're talking about coming 2 weeks out of Mercury retrograde. Some of what you've gone through in the last month has been a review of the whole fucking little situation. You've had a chance to sit down. A lot of you've had a lot of solitude time, a lot of downtime. You've had a chance to think about this whole little scenario. Plenty of time. My Gemini's out doing whatever they were doing. I'm just saying. You've had plenty of time. And I know this because, Taurus, there's more you on the board than there is Gemini. There are three sword cards on the table. 4, 5, 1 major. 4 and 1 major earth on the table. I'm just saying. So this is you thinking, making plans. You know it's time to jet. But you're just trying to, and I understand too, for those of you, this was kind of like your stepping stone relationship. You just left a really good one like a year ago and you get into another one and it's all right, but it ain't all that. But, and for those of you that are with this Gemini, I know there's a certain something about them. I get that part. And in part it's because they are air. And they kind of have that ethereal quality. And sometimes old stuck on the ground bull likes to get a good whiff of air. I'm just saying. So I understand the attraction here, but at this point, it's seriously time to cut your losses because Gemini is all but not here. They're making plans and doing shit away from you. And there's that shadow up there with the 3 of Swords. That's what it's coming back. And that's your overall energy because you're trying to figure some shit out. And because you kind of half-ass in and half-ass out, you're not doing your usual sky cam type mechanics on this one. You know, you ain't going through phones looking for shit. You just already know it's fucked up because you've been through this shit already and you already know how this is looking. You get mad, they want to come back and apologize and do all that shit, and 2 weeks later they back on square one. And the cycle continues and you go back and forth. So a lot of you don't even, I can feel this, you don't even have the energy to really go through a whole bunch of knockdown, drag out shit. Because you've been through it so much before, it's like, you know what, whatever, get your shit and leave, bye. You lose my number while you're at it, bye. Because you just, I can feel, you're just tired. You're just tired of the whole having to have a backup plan for the plan because you don't know what your partner is going to do. I feel that. But when we get down here to the future energy, this is where things begin to change. And you'll note that you have individuals here and not groups. You got groups, but you got the individual down here. So for your future energy, you got messages. You have love in your heart. Let me just throw that like that. And the fullness in your heart is really kind of causing a disruption, because for those of you that really break this off, you can be like, well, who am I supposed to be with? What am I supposed to be doing? And it's really about understanding how you feel in relationship to the person that you're dealing with. If you don't feel right, if you don't feel good, if you are coming up with all of this, and this is a lesson to be learned here, that's part of this. If it don't feel right, it's going to cause you to break up into the little squares. I'm just saying, this is disruption. It's going to, if you don't feel right, if you're singing a song, but the damn guitar is out of tune, it don't feel right. It don't sound right. So this, in the future, when you get back into it, it ain't going to take you 6 months, Taurus, to get back in the game. You know how we do. It don't take us forever. We ain't slow. Future energy. When you start meeting people, when you start feeling your heart with all the love in it, think about this. Is there something that you're saying or the other person is saying and it's just off? You've met people like this and you like them, but there's something. You can't put your finger on what something is. That's what this is. And this is about paying attention in the future. If you out here humming along and you run into somebody and, you know, the hum don't sound right, that's something you need to proactively disrupt, because it's not, in the end, you're not going to, come on, let's just go to the next card. You're not going to have any kind of harmony if something doesn't feel right. And that is usually a very, 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 very early indication of your intuition telling you something is really wrong. But because it's so far from the end of anything as far as you're concerned at that point, you don't feel it. In order for you to have harmony, Taurus, same thing I'm saying, you're going to have to change your perspective on how you're thinking about relationships, especially whom you're getting into relationships with. Every sign is not good with every sign. That's just the truth of the matter. And I can tell because when I put the different pairings of signs up now, I look and see, you know, how many viewers I get. And there's some pairings that just don't get a lot of viewers because there's just not a lot of relationships like that. Others, Taurus and Cancer, Cancer and Pisces, Cancer and Virgo, you know, pairings you can kind of see a matchup, 200 viewers immediately. But you get into Aquarius and Scorpio, or maybe Sagittarius and Cancer, you just do 5 viewers. Okay, and I can always tell hot relationship trends because I'm looking to see who's watching. You got over a gazillion people on YouTube, so you can't do anything but just look at the numbers and go, damn. So to say all of that, I'm saying every relationship, every sign is not good in every relationship. That's the truth. Some pairings just aren't good. I've dated a Gemini before. That was a hot hell mess for a year. Just because it's the same kind of energy. Gemini wasn't there, but you know, just there long enough to make you feel like you're doing something, and then boom, pow, gone. And then with Geminis, with the duality of their personality, then that's a whole nother pile of shit that just, for a Taurus, can become a nightmare because we're so grounded. And we're so used to things being just what they seem to be. When people start throwing different things at us and we can't know if it's real or true because we're so loyal. And that's what people don't understand about Taurus until they really get into a relationship with them. We really don't give a damn what you're doing. If you're ours, you're ours. You can go outside, you can sit in the middle of the street in your pajamas. We really wouldn't care because you belong to us. Go do you, be happy, be healthy. But when you cross certain lines with a Taurus, it's over. And that's the very thing that I feel here. This was, like I said, over before you even went back for a second bowl. It just was. You were already walking out the door and talking about, we're going to try one more time. You already packed your bag. And when you mentally get to a point where you're packing your luggage, and you're getting back into a relationship, you got to know it ain't going to be good. It's not going to end well. At the end of all of this, do not let this create any kind of mental conflict for you, because Gemini is going to try and bring their air right back in the dough. Know that, Taurus. Don't even be fooled thinking, oh, they're gone. Yeah. No, they're not gone. Might be out of sight, but they're not gone. And until, I'm going to say this, until you get into another relationship, they're going to continue to lurk. And it's going to cause you some mental conflict, because it's like, well, damn, you weren't here when you should have been here, but now I don't want you here, and you trying to hang around my doorstep. Well, don't let it keep you up at night, Taurus. Don't. When you make this final decision, because I know how Tauruses are, we draw the line in the sand 12 times before we get to the end of it. That's cool. But when you draw that last line in the sand, Taurus, be done. This is their MO. That's what you should learn at this point. And Gemini, I'm so sorry. I know y'all are just done with my ass, but it's okay. It is what it is in this situation, and this is not going to, like I said, it's not going to resonate with every Taurus Gemini situation, but it's very clear. Y'all are done. Taurus, once you make that final decision, do not allow this to become one of these situations where it's the wishy-washy shit, back and forth. Oh, well, okay, come back. No, be done, because this is going to continue. This is the cycle, and it won't break until you break it. It's just that simple. Unfortunately, for whatever pain, Taurus, you've been through dealing with this relationship, you're going to have to just chuck up your losses and just be like, fuck it, I'm done. Oh, well. And I don't feel like many of you have lost a whole lot in the way of material. I feel like more of you have lost in terms of your emotional heartache and just a sheer disappointment that something that really had maybe some good potential just turned out to be a total dud. I get that. But understand, for every situation that you go through, there is another one. And everything that you learn from this one, you will take with you to the next. So it can't be nothing but better, right? Can't be nothing but better. So guidance from the universe, the hell, fake it till you make it. You heard me? And that's what y'all doing. Like I said, y'all knew you was walking out the door when you decided to get back together. So, fake it till you make it. Maybe right this minute is not the minute to be trying to break up. Maybe right this minute is not the time to be discussing anything. Maybe it's still me time, and you need to just focus on you and leave it alone. With the Be Grateful card here, it's about the things that you know that you've learned out of whatever situation is presented you. Things to look for if somebody's cheating, how you feel when your needs, your emotional needs are not being met, how you don't feel, all of it, the whole thing. Take that with you and be grateful for being able to learn those things the way that you learned them. Because it could have been worse. Fuck it. Let's just kick it out there. It could have been worse. But it is what it is. So be grateful. And I'm always thankful for the lesson and the blessings. Because with every lesson comes a blessing. So know that your blessing is coming. I know you get tired of hearing that. But you all know you're going to end up in another relationship sooner rather than later. And so you be grateful for this time. Clean up this shit and get ready to be on to the next one. It hurts. I know it hurts some of y'all, and it ain't, you know, ooh, you hurt my feelings. It's an ego and a pride thing. I get it, Taurus. Not so much that your feelings are really hurt. It's just, how dare you do this to me when I did so much for you and you asked. I feel you. It's time to let some of that go. All that excess energy. Call on your healer guides. And I promise you, it's going to get better. I know y'all sick of hearing that. I'm sick of hearing it. But it's the truth. And if you can really sit with yourself for a minute and feel the energy around you, you can feel the shift. You can feel it. Things are changing, and a lot of us are getting the come up that we've been asking for the last 200 years. It is what it is, but it's all good. You will be well, Taurus. All will be well. Get through this as best you can. Continue making your plans for your future. Continue trying to manifest, even if you're not to the ass end of this relationship. Continue in your thoughts to manifest the relationship that you're working towards. The kind of relationship, the kind of person you want to be in a relationship with. Keep manifesting it. And if this ain't it, you do like any other artist. You throw that shit out and you start over. Keep working at it. I'm going to leave it there, Taurus. I love you. I hope you guys have a good weekend. I'll see you Sunday for the weekly update. Bye, y'all.